They owned it all.
Before the iPod came along, Apple was in shambles. Meanwhile, this is when Microsoft was at its peak.
And Microsoft actually got involved. The government got involved.
They did. They split them up.
Yeah.
Bill Gates and all that. Bill Gates was to be only the head of a portion of Microsoft, while another portion of Microsoft was cut off to compete against its own original company because the monopoly was just too much for the consumer.
Right.
Okay, that being said, my point is that you can't have totally open free market under no government centralized body.
Right.
And what you have in the world is you have America with the American government, you have China with the Chinese government, you have Japan with the Japanese government, and you don't have one overarching governing body to protect the consumer from the monopoly is just one thing. There's a whole bunch of other things that can go wrong with capitalism that the government does a good job, in America at least, just make sure that the consumer's watched out for.
Okay, so bringing it back around, Grucifer and the Democrat Party.
How do we get off on these tangents?
Well, they breached the DNC and got a bunch of stuff, bunch of information from them, and a 200-plus page document that the DNC put together called the Anti-Trump Book. It's called Donald.
It's the playbook for the Democrat Party to combat Trump.
And here's their play. In 200 pages, they literally say, okay, he's a bad businessman. He's a misogynist in chief.
Well, hold on. Let me stop you real quick there. They're not saying that that's what he is. This is what the talking points are supposed to be to the public, to journalists, to voters, and stuff like that.
In this playbook, they're putting out the plan. This is what we're going to say about Trump.
Yes.
Bad businessman, misogynist in chief, and they were trying to put together a whole thing about rape charges on him.
What?
Did he rape somebody? Yes. Oh, no. In this playbook, they are coming out with he raped a woman.
Wait a minute. Is there a victim?
No.
There's not even a... Wait,
no.
whoa. You're talking about bold-faced lies.
You can do that in politics. It's legal.
It's not about the accuracy of the accusation. It's about the seriousness of the charge.
So Tammy Bruce this week on Fox, she is disputing, which also coincides with CBS's fake news on the polls, the fake polls CBS released, showing that Hillary was up big 6 points. And you know how it is when in the summertime, if you're not ahead.
Which, by the way, I did some research on that.
And that's not true.
That's not a standard. It's been for the past couple of election cycles, but there's reasons for that.
Right.
Like Dole was never going to win.
But they use these things to attack Trump. So this is what Tammy Bruce had to say about the fake reports that CBS is saying Hillary's up, and this Grucifer information that's exposing the DNC for being liars.
Yes, that was supposed to be her firewall. We've seen, though, from the very beginning that she hasn't captured women. It's a very interesting dynamic. The story there, though, is that Donald Trump is getting 3 out of 10. With everything that's been said about him, everything he has said, that the appeal, in fact, is, no matter whether you're a man or a woman, the jobs, the economy, the future, danger, war, violence, terrorism matters to women. Those are women's issues. Hillary is not seen as someone who is going to be able to deliver on those things, if in fact has contributed to the problems in the last 8 years. But let me give you another set of numbers that should worry her. She received 1.5 million fewer votes in 2016 than in 2008.
Wow.
The Democrats, through the primary system, lost 7 million votes.
Wow.
Now, she's looking at those numbers. Now, at the same time, for Donald Trump, the most votes in Republican history. Yes. Now, this is through the primaries. But if you've got 7 million fewer voters voting, it talks about enthusiasm. So it's about the problems with women, and it's about enthusiasm.
Those are some big numbers.
I'm glad. Wow, I didn't know. I was wondering, why is nobody ever reporting on what the difference in total votes are between 2008, 2016, whatever? Because both times Hillary Clinton went through a primary. She got real deep into the primary before she finally got defeated by Barack Obama. And there was one point early on, I believe it was in March, because that's when Ohio's primary is, where it didn't look like Barack Obama had a chance.
Right.
They said, oh, he's not going to be able to come back. He's so far behind. His polls are behind on all these states. We don't think Barack Obama's going to do it. It's just not going to happen. And he came back as soon as Oprah endorsed him.
Oh, Oprah endorsed Hillary this week.
Well, it's not going to work anymore.
Nobody
cares. She does not have the power she used to.
It said because she's a woman, you need to vote for her.
She did that with Barack Obama. She said, look,
because Barack's a woman.
Man. No, he's a woman.
He's a woman, and Michelle's a good man.
Oh, my God.
See, I got proof. Look at these pictures. It's on the Google. It's on the Google.
What should they Google?
Google Michelle Obama man.
Oh, my goodness. And then click on images?
Yeah, click on images.
So, yeah, no, she said, look, he's a black man, and I'm black, and us black people need to rally around a black man. And that's a shame, because people like Charles Payne, who's also a black man,
did rally.
He's a total free market capitalist conservative. He has a show.
Opposite. He's the opposite of Obama.
Right. He's the Fox News businessman. He's been on there forever. He came out like a couple years after the first election of Barack Obama and said, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe I got to admit this."
We played that on our show.
Oh yeah, he was so distraught.
Years
can't
ago.
believe he's ashamed of himself for doing it, and he admitted, "I just feel like at some point in my lifetime, I'd like to see a black president." And a lot did that. A lot.
It's a shame.
A lot did. And you know what? There's more black people have come out publicly in favor of Trump than any other Republican that I've seen in my lifetime.
Right.
You don't see people coming out on YouTube and news and all that as a black man, black woman saying, you need to vote for this Republican.
Oh, yeah.
You just don't see it, and we're seeing it with Trump. So I'm happy about it. The 12 points he was behind this month or this week, that was the big, huge thing this week, was that Trump's done. He's down by 12 points in this poll. He's not going to ever come out with that. Turns out, insiders say that the convention, the GOP convention people are talking, if he gets 15 points down.
Yes.
If he gets 15 points down, we're going to go forward with replacing him. But here's the thing. That leaked out before this 12-point deficit poll.
Right.
That being said, I believe that the 12-point deficit poll is a reaction to the insiders from the GOP coming out and saying, if
pull the ripcord.
Yeah, we'll pull the ripcord if he gets 15 points down. I think there's operatives somewhere. Could be GOP, could be Democrats, doesn't matter. Could be an alliance.
Right.
That said, let's find some polls that are getting close to 15%. We need to make this happen.
You know what Trump said about all this?
What'd he say?
I don't need no stinking GOP to win this thing.
We'd like to have you. It would be helpful.
He said it'd be help. It was the whole Paul Ryan thing that the debacle that came out.
So if he gets primaried, and I think it doesn't happen till August.
Right. Well,
but if he gets primaried, I'm going to be so thrilled. Okay, so believe here at Smith Radio, we believe, because I think Brian believes me on this, that those polls are a reaction to the leak. That if he gets 15 points down, and you can poll anybody, you can manipulate polls. Polls, and we've told you this a million times before too, and you've heard it everywhere else. Polls are not a reflection of what people are thinking in America. They are designed to manipulate public opinion.
Well, and if you look at that CBS poll that they released this week, and you get down into it, they did oversampling of Democrats.
Oh, my gosh. I am so not surprised because the poll was designed to get GOP to pull the ripcord.
Right. So, real quick, Hillary this week also came out and said that the United States should call on Saudi Arabia and other countries in the other countries in the Middle East to stop funding terrorism. Trump came back on Facebook and said, Crooked Hillary says we must call on Saudi Arabia and other countries to stop funding hate. I'm calling on her to immediately return the $25 million that she got from them to the Clinton Foundation.
That is a great message.
He is never wrong.
Well, that's
he has never been wrong.
But think about it. He's
Yeah.
literally calling her a messenger of hate.
Oh yeah,
That is hilarious.
oh yeah, and that she's funded by terrorists.
Okay, and one last thing about the polls.
Okay, go ahead.
Everybody says June numbers, they don't change from there. That's actually a lie. The truth is, if you look back, and in 2000, guess who was leading in June?
Gore.
George Bush was leading in June.
Oh,
And so that's why, but here's what I'm gonna explain to you why it's wrong. Everybody's saying, look at June numbers. June numbers, they don't change. Once you're leading in June, it's over. Guess what? Look at all the polls in the entire year of 2000. Yes, Bush was leading in June, but guess what? He was trailing huge later in the summer for a long periods. I'm not talking about one poll. For long periods of time, like over a month, George W. Bush was dead in the water. It wasn't until the debates. When the debates happened and Al Gore came out looking like a cheap whore
Right.
with all of that makeup on. He had blush on and everything like that. He had lipstick. It was disgusting.
Put lipstick on a pig.
Yeah. So after the debates, George Bush won all three of them. He did a sweep. Public opinion was like, why don't we get the guy that's actually smart, who can win debates, who can actually speak properly and sounds logical? And then his poll numbers turned around, and George W. became president.
I'm telling you right now, you wait till these debates.
Oh my gosh,
There is
I don't
no
see how.
way. The ratings will be worldwide ratings true to roof. So check this out. When people are saying about Donald Trump and his he doesn't know anything about foreign policy, here's his foreign. Oh, his name's Walid Faris.
Okay.
And he's on Lou Dobbs, and he's his foreign policy advisor.
But the attack is coming from Secretary Clinton, who actually for 4 years had achieved many things, including Libya is on fire, Syria is on fire, Iraq is going down, the Iran deal is not being applied quite well. There's no reset button with Russia, actually. We're seeing crumbling of those relationships. China is expanding in terms of its military buildup. Egypt and I could go on for the whole hour. So if you want to compare your experience, and indeed she had many meetings with many leaders, 112 countries being visited, but the results are the ones that count, and those results actually will bring her pedigree onto the negative. Not
exactly.
He just
that was a quick soundbite too, and that was a very short period of time to destroy somebody so effectively.
That's his foreign policy advisor.
What?
Yes!
That's Trump's
Trump's foreign policy advisor.
That guy's great.
Yes!
That is awesome. Doesn't that say something about Trump's ability to pick the right people in the right places?
Yes! Well, look at his national spokesperson, Katrina. I am married. However, if I wasn't, she'd be the one I'd marry. She is awesome.
Yeah, that's true. And I think that he should make Milo his press secretary.
Milo for press secretary. Oh, dude, that's huge. We got to start that.
Sick. He has, but either him or Ann Coulter.
Dude, we need to do that. Well, both of them together.
You want to pick one or the other.
I know, but they know each other real well.
Okay.
And they have similar personalities, if you will.
Yeah, she's a little bit more like he does it with a very
He's more
positive.
feminine than her.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely, without a doubt. But he does it with a smile on his face, and she does it with a smile on her face too, but she just sounds a little bit more aggressive.
Oh, she'll give the knockout blow. We ought to blow up Twitter this week, folks. Hashtag Milo press secretary.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be huge.
I'm not the one that came up with that idea. I'm not going to take credit for it. But when I heard it, I loved it.
Who did you hear that from?
Somebody on Twitter.
Okay.
And I said, I love it, but I like Ann Coulter too.
Yeah.
And they said, yeah, that's true.
All right, folks. Fast 3 hours you will spend anywhere in your life. We're all over the place for you. Good night.
Peace. Through strength.
With unfathomable power.
What kind of power?
Unfathomable. It's without fathom.